because the curriculum and getting everything down right was so important to you, when you guys did franchise, what do you think you had to do? What were the steps that you had to do to ensure that it was going to be run consistently across the franchise locations?
So that's been a little bit of a work in progress
Hmm.
up until. So I did not get involved with the franchise community and kind of understand franchising until about 2020. Then I really kind of started learning what's normal, how are things done at other brands, and kind of best practices. So I'd say since then we've improved astronomically relative to the first few years. The first few years we were just kind of almost developing out all the operation manuals together.
Right.
We did a lot of stuff by we have kind of an easy system of the booklets, but like on terms of more of the soft skills, talking to parents and selling, that was just kind of being slowly developed. So it's like once we hit 2020 and I started learning how other brands do it, it went a lot faster, a whole lot better.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It sounds like you guys really, really wanted to start out being hands
Yeah.
off. And
Hmm.
once you find out that the other brands, what really makes the brand succeed is yes, there is hands off. We treat each franchise owner as they're independently owned and operated, but there is truly this level of commitment that we're making to them and to one another. It is the ecosystem of franchising is just, it's what makes it work. That relationship can be very trying at times,
Yes.
but as long as we're rowing in the same direction. I always like to say that when I was running my brand, we definitely did not always agree on everything. But I thought that as a network, we always agreed that we were going in the right direction. We agreed on the direction. Maybe we didn't always agree on the methods that needed to be taken. But that's the beauty of franchising, is that push-pull that made us so much stronger. And isn't it better than just being yes to death by people? Because you
Oh
don't want to be
gosh.
yes to
Yeah.
death. You feel like, what are my blind spots? Like, somebody tell me something. Don't be afraid to tell me what we need to do differently.
Yeah, and we've gotten so many great ideas from our franchisees. And like as of course we can't do them all.
Right.
We have a budget, we have so much. But a lot of our best stuff, back in the day, I had one of my early franchisees kept telling me, you got to update your website. This is outdated.
Right.
And I agreed with her. I just wasn't sure the best method to go about it. Should I do it myself? Should we hire someone? And so we pushed back a little bit, but in the end, she pushed me enough that I did update the website and it was much, much better. And I was glad she pushed me on that because I might have let it go.
Right.
This was like 10 years ago, to be fair, when it
Okay.
wasn't still important, but it wasn't like it is now.
Yeah.
So
Stephanie, so who is your ideal franchise owner? If you could share with us, who do you look for?
we actually say is you're not in the education business as much as you're in the relationship business.
Mm,
You are developing relationships with these students and their families, and then eventually their neighbors and their cousins and all this. So you primarily need to be somebody who wants to develop relationships. So if you were looking to just sit in the back office and not be involved, you're probably not our best candidate.
mhm.
If you don't want to walk in the doors at all, we are owner operated, still not a great candidate. So we
Right.
want people that really want to get involved with the community and with the parents and the students. And then secondly, because we have a lot of people who don't come from education, but we need people that are kind of passionate about the power of education. Because we have mastery standards to kind of ensure that the integrity of the program is being met. So there can be pressure from parents that are ready to move faster and keep moving on. But you're like the education coach. You know what's best. They need to do that drill one more time
Right.
to get it right. Right. It's just like in sports. It's just like in instruments. But parents can get anxious because the schools are saying the child's behind. We need to move on, or they want to hit grade level, but you need to kind of be convicted that this program works properly when done properly.
Mhm.
So you don't want to, I don't want people that will cave and bypass the system because then the integrity of the program gets lost.
Totally. And I get it. You want them to be owner operated. You want them to be involved. What's your feeling on full-time commitment versus part-time?
So we do allow part-time. We have a lot of people that have a full-time job. We have noticed that typically our top performers are full-timers.
Mhm.
So that's the ideal, is if you can give it your full focus. We're not requiring that at this time.
Mhm.
Who knows where we'll be in 5 to 10 years. But full-time, you're going to probably grow a little faster. You just have more time to market, more time to call people back. lot more opportunity to grow the business than if you could only work it part-time.
Okay. I'm curious, of the 22 franchises open, what do you think the split is between full-time and part-time franchises?
That's a great question. I'm going to say somewhere around 50-50.
Okay.
It may be a little bit higher with full-time jobs at the moment. I think we've got some that haven't opened yet, and I don't think they have full-time jobs. So that'll go, switch it up a little bit.
Okay.
But
Is there maybe an example of a franchisee that you'd like to share that maybe exceeded expectations? And what do they do to achieve the success?
that's a great question. So I would say one of the ones that has just done us just amazing is our new location in Salina, which is a new suburb here in Dallas, or north of Dallas, really fairly north of Dallas. Dallas
Okay.
is expanding.
It sure is.
She just shot out of the bank. I mean, shot out of the gun, whatever the phrase is.
Yeah.
Right away. We found a great spot for her close to the road, and they moved on it quickly. We've been just really in sync with her and her growth. And I think she just got into the neighborhoods and made sure her presence was known. She devotes it full time too.
Not surprised.
Yeah, she won top newcomer of the year last year because she just broke all the records for a first year center. So she's done amazing. It's been really fun to watch.
She really understood the importance of the community awareness of Gideon, huh?
Yeah, and she was a former parent, of course.
Of course.
That it doesn't have to be, but that makes it fun too, right? She's taking what she gained and she's passing it along to other children and other families. So that's been fun, that she sees it. We always tell people, if you have a child, they need to be enrolled, or if they weren't, you ought to, get them involved, because you telling your children's story is going to impact the people that come in to see you.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning into the Emerging Franchise Brands podcast. For additional insights, guest applications, and to stay connected, visit us at efbpodcast.com. The Emerging Franchise Brands podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed do not necessarily represent those of Emerging Franchise Brands, its host Frank Fiume, or Emerging Franchise Group LLC. Any discussed franchise or investment opportunity requires thorough investigation, obtaining proper disclosure documents, and expert consultation before making any investment decisions. The podcast and its host do not offer professional advice or endorsements, and they hold no responsibility for actions, representations, accuracy, or consequential damages related to the podcast content.